Community Shield weekend, the unofficial kick-off to the new season. Good one this year, Liverpool against Manchester City.
On paper.
On paper, yeah, because the African nations and the Copa America have meant that there'll be a few players who will either not be at their best or won't be considered to start the game.
Maybe just get a few minutes, very few minutes.
How important is it for Liverpool especially, given the pre-season that they've had, to set a marker ahead of the new season?
Well, I think it's important to get the aspects of the side rolling into the way that Klopp wants to. They've not had a great pre-season, granted, but he's smart enough to know exactly where his players need to be. It's a long season. They have got to hit the ground running, because I do feel that this Manchester City side, with the depth of squad that they've got, I think they might be just a little bit in front of many of the Premier League teams.
Here's a look at the last 5 Community Shields. It used to be the Charity Shield back in the day when you played there.
Yep.
Give me a player's perspective. You played in 1978. Was it important? How important was it?
It was important to try and get on the board, to get some silverware in the cabinet, but it wasn't of paramount importance. We had a couple of lads who were on the fringe, and I think that this is what's going to happen with Liverpool and Manchester City. I think that, as I said, with City, the depth of the squad, when you talk about Aguero and Gabriel Jesus, probably not even taking part, or maybe get a few moments. Mahrez won't be playing, Mane for Liverpool, so it's a bit of a mishmash. It gives the coaches a little bit of an opportunity in somewhat of a meaningful game to have a look at what he's got, to see how deep his squad really is, and can he really call on certain players at certain times.
It's not a case of setting a marker ahead of the new season.
No.
Because it won't have any effect on what happens. But these, I think, you'd agree, that are the 2 best teams in the league.
Yes.
The one thing you mentioned about City is a strength and depth.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool, do they have that, especially up front?
Well, they're chipping away at it. I mean, obviously they've got Shaqiri in. I think he'll probably feature at the weekend. Origi's re-signed. You know, whatever you think about him, he did fill in very, very well at the end of the season. So they have got players. And let's face facts, in the middle of the park, they've got some strength.
Well, they have. But middle to front, Paul, this is the issue, and someone you know well, we all do, Stevie Nicol, you worked with him for many years. He's annoyed that they haven't been able to strengthen the squad,
right,
especially the centre-back position.
Yes.
Because I'm not saying they got away with it with Salah and Mane and Firmino not getting hurt, but if one of those 3, especially Salah or Mane, gets hurt, then what?
Well, let's talk about Van Dijk's partner. Will it be Gomez this season? I think it will be. I think he's a fantastic player until he got injured. They're talking about Lovren maybe going to Roma to leave the club. I'm not too sure about that. I think when you go on a journey like Liverpool are going to go on this season and try and get as much silverware as they possibly can on all top fronts, you need depth. You need depth, and if you've not got depth, it will hurt you. Eventually, it will catch up with you.
City, are they playing on Sunday their closest rivals and their only challengers for the title this year? Or can someone else challenge like Spurs did for a spell last season? Well,
that's the key with Spurs. I think the short answer is yes. But I looked at Spurs in the Audi Cup. I thought that they were quite resilient. I thought they played some decent stuff. But we still don't know about Tottenham. We don't know whether they can go the whole distance. They seem to be fantastic for 3/4 of the season, and then they fall away. Or they have periods, is it just around Christmas that they fall away? Can Pochettino, with what he's brought in, can he address that situation? But I think Man City and Liverpool are head and shoulders above everybody else.
It's a good one. It's the Community Shield this weekend, and it's live and exclusive in the United States on ESPN+.